I wanted to share one of our recent case studies of a big multifamily project we did in Evanston, which we partnered with over 10 different investors through Bighorn Capital Fund, and it was extremely successful. And I really want to show you guys the case study because as a capital raiser, I've always found it important that you've got to be really accurate when you come to your pro formas and how you underwrite the deal, right? Your projections mean everything. And really, they could mean nothing because you could go project and make all these assumptions, but if you can't hit them, it really doesn't matter. So I really wanted to kind of go show you guys the story of where we said we'd go and where we actually ended up. Because I don't think enough investors really give you the full story and show you like the behind the scenes look at everything. So let's check it out right here. I want to show you guys, let's start right off with, this is literally the pitch deck, and you guys could go back and I could share you the original recordings when we were raising money for this and show you how we were, like this is the exact presentation, right? So we really liked this deal initially because it was located really well close to Park City and Salt Lake City, where house prices have gone way up, and we knew that Evanston was kind of a little hidden gem and a little small town that had a lot of demand. The other big thing was there was this big nuclear plant going in just north of Evanston, which was going to bring a lot of jobs. And guys, this has brought in a lot of revenue already on our project. Let's see. I kind of went through and provided all these different pro formas. I mean, you guys can see some of the photos of what this thing looked like beforehand. But one of the big things we did is we recruited a crew out of Houston who actually relocated up to the property, lived in it for like 9 months. They went crazy. They were like working 6 days a week, working hard, getting these units back online, getting them rented out. And it was really a big part of our success. What we offer in our company is we're able to source the deals, right? This is actually what I showed here. This is how we sourced it through a postcard. I negotiated this one myself, put it together. We put our construction crews on. And then last but not least, we go to put our property management team on it. Okay. This was kind of the high level part, guys. When I was initially raising money, it was $50,000 to $500K. We were paying 15%. And we've actually paid our investors every single month now since I think July is for first full month of having capital deployed. So we've been paying interest-only payments since July of 2024, all the way literally through last month. To give you guys this a little bit of a high level, this is kind of what it looked like. So we raised $1.7 million of capital from our limited partners in Bighorn Capital Fund. And what we bought the property for was actually, well, the total purchase price was right here, $2.375. We gave $250,000 to the seller. So the loan amount that the seller carried was about $2.125 million, and then the rest went to the rehab and the down payment. But guys, I'll show you our ARV here in a second where we're projecting it, but it's been extremely, extremely successful. Let me show you a little bit deeper dive into the numbers. So what I also shared with our investors at the time was the pro forma, which I kind of led off this call with, like, you got to start somewhere and see if you actually hit it, okay? So this is what I do on all of my pro formas. I think it's just a really effective way to give investors a good feel for where things could go, what's conservative, and then what could be the upside. Because I think it's really important to be conservative. I think you need to get both, right? You can't just be super conservative because then investors can't see the vision of the upside, right? Because if you go crush it and no one knew you're going to crush it, then they might not invest. But I like to be conservative too. So I offer always a base case. This is my conservative numbers. Then I offer a target case. This is where I think we can get to based on rents and based on past history. Now here is our STR target. This stands for short-term rental target. I've done this now in several big multifamily assets where we'll literally go carve out, depends. This one we did about 9 units, but it's typically 10 to 25% of the units. We will go furnish them. And when we furnish them, we get lots of much higher rent. And I'll be able to show you guys exactly how that's performing. But anyway, this was the numbers, guys. Let me show you just the total profit of rent per month, because then I want to dive into what we're actually getting. I was projecting $50,000 to $64,000 a month from my base to my really aggressive stretch target. You guys want to see now where we ended up. So I'm going to show you our P&L from the last 12 months. So remember, 50,000 to about 64, okay? Well, check this out. In our last month in September, we just hit nearly 60,000. Before that, it was 50, okay? You guys can kind of see the ramp up here. This is literally the last 12 rolling months. From 26 all the way up to, you could see we started getting momentum here in April, May, June, July. Now, guys, very important to note, we did not even finish renovating all the units and bringing them online until May of 2025. So that's why you start to see more revenue coming in and how we really started to build it out. All right, you can actually see all the expenses in here from insurance, repairs, maintenance, taxes, utilities, all of it rolled into here. So now you guys could see the profitability and why I'm so excited. We're making $23,000 a month right now with our current debt on the property. Now, guys, I want to share a little bit more about the journey and how we got there and how we're getting to these rents. So with our investors, we do quarterly updates. So this, for example, this update was February 2025. Or you can kind of see the progress. We had just completed the roof on it was actually this building here. We had finished off all these units. This was our kind of in progress stuff. And this is what we were just getting started in our queue for further construction. So these are just to give you a feel for the updates we give our investors. These are some of the before and afters. You can see what these units have started to look like. All right. And what I want to do is share some of these furnished rentals with you guys. So this is one of the things that I was most proud of is our team being able to build or bring these beautiful short-term rentals online. Like you could see the beautiful finishes, the beautiful furniture. And now I want to show you guys how incredibly well this stuff is performing. This will completely, this is one of my most proudest moments. So now this is something I just shared on our most recent investor update. This is something we track, right? My team, because we're putting more time and resources into short-term rentals, we track it every month, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 short-term rental units that I have on Lilac Way. Right? This is how much money they've been bringing in. You can see some of these, we saw success. We brought on these last 3 units because we had so much demand and they were doing so well. Guys, look at the revenue numbers. So when I initially projected this on my projections, I was thinking we'd get around $1,800 a month for these short-term rentals. Well, look at this. We're getting anywhere from $1,600 to like $2,400 a month. And the only reason why this one's lower is because we locked that person in and they're staying in longer term. You guys can see we're just totally crushing it on our short-term rental units. And this is in October, right? This is typically going to be one of the slower months. We're getting into winter. I mean, I would expect really good revenue in May, June, July, August, but not so much October. So we're doing really, really well in those short-term rentals, and that's why this deal is being extremely profitable. I want to now go back to our initial projections and show you where we think this thing is going to cash flow. All right, now let me kind of show you the debt on it. So when we go to refinance, which is right where we're at now, we're actually working with some large like agency type lenders. And to pay off the current seller and all of our investors, the payoff would be around $3.825 million. So check out the cash flow. So this is our NOI. This was our low case. Right now, we're right around the target. If you remember, we're about $60,000 a month. So we're right around the target. So even with the new debt service on on $3.8 million, pay everybody back, we're going to be making $16,000 a month in cash flow. That's why this has been a huge home run for our company. And ultimately, I'm really wanting to build my long-term wealth, and I love helping other investors do the same thing. Like, this is a game changer. Because hopefully you guys are following along. What I did on this is we bought it with seller financing. We use our fund to lend $1.7 million. And now I'm going to be able to pay all that back, pay all my investors back. By the way, we've been paying them 15% every single month since July of 2024. So every month they're getting a check, 15%. If they put in $100,000, they're getting 15% divided by 12 every single month. So we've been paying that, and now I'm going to be able to refinance. But check out the value on this thing, guys. Kind of a conservative cap rate. We're looking around $6 million in value. So I've created about nearly $2 million of equity, probably more than $2 million. We created all this cash flow, and we're able to pay all of our investors back. All right, now the last thing I want to share to wrap this up is it's not just about the ROI and the wealth building. I really like the phrase invest with purpose. I've got a really cool video that I could share with you guys on Hillside Casper. I'll share the link with you. This one was very dramatic because we took over a property that had drugs, crime, and it was an eyesore. It was the place you did not want to go in Casper, Wyoming, but now it's turned into this beautiful, safe place where people can feel safe, and the community, like every time I go to Casper, the feedback is unbelievable. We did something very similar in Evanston. This property also did not have a good reputation. When I was talking about it and doing my due diligence, everybody's like, oh yeah, I know that property. That's that one property that's been neglected. No one's ever done any renovations. It's run down, like nobody wants to live there. It's just a rough place nobody wants to be, right? But because we brought in like this crew, we cleaned things up. Now this asset, I've shown you guys some of the photos. Like now we're getting construction workers, nurses, professionals, people that want to stay in somewhere nice. Like this is literally one of the nicest places you could stay in terms of the furnished unit, one of the nicest places you could stay in town. So I'm really proud of the way we transformed it. I'm proud of the jobs that we're able to give to these folks. I'm proud of the checks that we were able to write for our sales team for finding these deals, all the way down to our property management and the people who are doing the repairs and maintenance, all the jobs created. It's had a lasting, it's literally, we've only impacted the community for the last 16 months since we bought it, but I'm excited for the continued impact we're going to have on this community. So I just wanted to share that for those of you who are investing and want to invest in something more than just the ROI and the what you could see on your, or maybe you're investing in the stock market and you feel like it's maybe soulless, right? You just go look at a ticker or you look at a screen every day to see where you're at, versus our investors who are on this, they get to know that they were part of not only helping provide jobs, but transforming a community. So if you're interested in more projects like this, we just took another one down just like this up in Billings, Montana. I would be happy to show you guys photos of that place. We're in the middle of it. It is gross. It was full of drugs, like meth. It's rough, right? But we're completely gutting these houses, transforming them, making it better for the neighbors, making it safer for families to bring in their kids and live in these neighborhoods. So much impact that goes beyond the ROI. So if you guys are ever interested in partnering in a deal like this, please reach out and let's have a conversation.